What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And today we have another very exciting massive release reaction for you guys. I really hope you all are excited for today's video. And without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. Definitely check out that Phoenix video I did last week if you haven't already. What a cool set that was. There were some really good pieces. Had to make its own video. It was so good. But nevertheless, we'll just pick up where we left off from there with these Hobby Masters. So let's go ahead and check them out. We'll start right here with the Swiss Air Force F-35A Lightning II, Juliet 6024. Awesome to see another aircraft done here for the Swiss Air Force. I think this is a really good choice. Sometimes they get a little bit underrepresented, I guess, is if you want to call that a word. So not enough representation, in other words. So glad to see that right there. And our next aircraft is, I guess there's only two of them, and that's going to be, I think that's a Su-27 maybe. So very cool to see that too. Ukraine Air Force. Actually, I could probably just, I thought I could click on it. So here it is. I know it's a bad shot, but Ukrainian Air Force Su-20 or 37. I think it's 27. So I know it's a crappy shot, but it gets the job done. Certainly looks good, and a good job here by the boys for rolling up. So that's absolutely fantastic. So let me see if I can go small here and get it out of that picture. But yeah, really cool to see that. I know that was really short there for Hobby Master, but really solid. And unless they got like to the end of that Phoenix release, they're like, oh man, we got to make its own letter. But I think that is incorrect. I think it was just two of those there. So pretty interesting. But nevertheless, we'll dive into our next one as we're going to have more in-flight models that are ready to ship. There is a chance that these have been covered already on the channel, but we'll go ahead and take a look at the images. Brandon International 727-100 looks really nice. I think they did a really good job on that aircraft, so very nice. I think we covered these, but we'll see. I don't know if we covered this one. This Airbus House Airbus E32200. This is Foxtrot Whiskey Bravo Alpha. Looks really nice. I really like the house scheme. Let me know if you like the yellow or the blue Airbus House better. The yellow is just interesting to say the least, but this one looks great too. I think they did a really good job, so really nice to see that. Our next aircraft is going to be this United Airlines Boeing 747-400 in Saul Bass livery, November 186 Uniform Alpha. It looks really nice. They did a really good job. I do not want to see how much that is, but it looks really good. And I'm sure for everybody that's interested in that, they will have a field day. So very nice. Pacific Southwest Airlines Boeing 727-100 November 976 Papa Sierra. Very cool aircraft here. Glad to see that they did a really good job on the aircraft. I think it looks really nice and ultimately a really good effort in general. Here's the Lufthansa Airbus E321 in the Fanhansa Menes-Kratz Fancial livery. Delta Alpha India Sierra Quebec. Looks really good. Certainly some really nice elements to it. I think the yellow on that fuselage is kind of tough to see, but I'm sure it's better, especially in overcast conditions. So looking good with the aircraft right there. Then we have this Lufthansa Boeing 727-200, and this is going to be Delta Alpha Bravo India Sierra, or Zulu, excuse me. It looks good. I think the scheme looks really nice. Lufthansa's been very slow on innovating their livery over time, but I think they've done a good job with it. So ultimately, it is a flagship after all, so why change it when it's not broke? Japan Airlines Boeing, or this is a Convair 880 Mike. I believe this one has been covered for sure. Looks really good. I don't know where the image is, but that certainly looks nice. Here's that American Airlines Boeing 727-200 that was announced a while back. Really cool to see that. I think for everybody really interested in this November 722 Alpha example, that this will be a field day. So hopefully each and every one of you have enjoyed that aircraft. Qantas Australia Asia Tel Boeing 747 SP, and this is Victor Hotel Echo Alpha EAA. How about that? So very cool to see this aircraft too. The tail is very interesting, so ultimately looks good and certainly an interesting sub brand of Qantas. Iberia Boeing 747-400 Tango Foxtrot Alpha Mike Bravo. Good job on this aircraft. Looks really good. Love the wing bending down. That's exactly how it's supposed to look. So certainly one of the coolest elements of the livery. They've done a really good job there. So ultimately, great job by InFlight. Azul Airbus A350-900. Why do I feel like I've seen this one before as a picture? But nevertheless, looks really good. Glad they were getting after it, and that looks really, really nice. Airbus House Airbus E319 also looks good. This is the livery I was talking about, by the way, not the yellow, but the dark navy. Looks really good on this aircraft. American Airlines Airbus E319 is finally here. This is November 9023 November. Underneath piece looks really interesting. Outside that looks really good. Now the sharklets really interest me. I don't know if it's been, I think that looks a little off. That does not quite look right. That looks like a 737 winglet, that is. I think that it's much taller and a little bit more narrow than that. Maybe just the angle of the picture, but that just seems a little much. Certainly an interesting aircraft though, and it looks pretty solid outside that, so really nice job. And that'll do it for that. Really good pictures there. Glad to take a look at all those, and ultimately a really good job in general. So very nice. They had a super still that's probably outdated at this point, and vice versa there. All right, so here we go for some military and some JC Wings offerings. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what this is all about. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at these various aircraft here. Okay, so here we go for some JC Wings aircraft. They're really making a case for the detail. I did not mean to scroll that fast, but here comes two military offerings. Su-30 fullback Russian Air Force Ukraine War 2022. That was a really quick turnaround, but certainly looks nice. Glad that they're representing that, and hopefully for anybody interested, it fulfills the purpose. And we also have this from 1983 with this SU. This is a 27 for the UBK flanker PLAAF, first division fighter, first air realignment. So very cool to see that. Yeah, pretty similar fuselage design, very similar. A couple of tweaks, I'm sure, but certainly very similar. Tail looks slightly different in the this canopy area, but that certainly looks pretty good. This is F-15 DJ Eagle JASDF Tactical Fighter Training Group 2018. Japan Air Special Defense Force or something like that, I'm assuming. Very, very distinctive livery. It flows up and down instead of left to right, so that's pretty cool. So really cool to see that, and I think they did a good job with that one. This is the F-15 SG Strike Eagle Republic of Singapore Air Force 428 Fighter Squadron Buccaneers 2011. Very cool to see that. I think that's a cool looking aircraft. So ultimately a really good job there, and I think that one is looking really nice and simple. F-15 SG Strike Eagle Republic Singapore 154 Fighter Squadron Shotcut 2020. The Eagle looks super cool. That's really, really nice. So very cool, and that one certainly stands out of the pack. So that's a really good effort, especially for 2020. This one's also fantastic from them. This is the 55th anniversary paint scheme. So how cool is that? Looks really nice. Certainly some nice celebration there with that aircraft. So looking good, and certainly getting Republic of Singapore going today. How about this Growler from the U.S. Navy? This is going to be a EA-18G, and this is the BAQ-132 Scorpions 2021. That's a really good aircraft. That'll probably be a popular offering. I love the red all around it. That looks really nice. So ultimately, a really good job here, and that looks really, really good. This is the EA-6B Prowler, U.S. Navy as well. This is also from Scorpions, 2005 this time, however. Very similar concept, and this piece right here is very interesting. So ultimately, really cool to see this, and I think they did a really good job on this aircraft. Next up, we have this Su-17 Filter Russian Air Force, and this is going to be a Fitter Russian Air Force, 20 guards, fighter bomb, realignment, 16th Air Army, 1992. Looks good with this aircraft too. Pretty traditional. You got your typical piece on the front, which is pretty nice. So looking good with that aircraft, and a good job there on that one. Yeah, really nice Hobby Master set. I thought, oh, these are JC. I mean, these are JC. Yeah, this is more like a Hobby Master set, to be honest. This is really cool. Glad to see JC Wings doing a unique military set. I think that'll benefit them well, and ultimately a really good job on that aircraft. So good job there on those. We have some Herpa Wings and more Hobby Masters, so we'll stay with some military while picking up some civil action with this next one. So let's go ahead and see what it's all about. Come on. There we go. Okay. Had scrolled through the whole release at that point. But here we go with starting with Herpa Wings military. This is the 28th Bomber Wing Doolittle 80th anniversary. Very cool. Limited as well, so definitely try to pick it up if you can. Looks really good. I think they did a good job on this aircraft. Looks really nice, and ultimately a really cool one there from Herpa. Okay, this is the UAFS El Lobo Boeing B-52 Strata Force Barksdale Air Force Base. That's really cool. I love the logo right there, but really cool to see that they're doing some U.S. offerings. I think this is a really quality addition here. Very nice variety, and this looks really, really cool. So great job there by Herpa. Here's an ITA Airbus E319 Echo India Mike November, and this is going to be the Petro Musna titles or sticker or whatever the designation is there. Looks really good. Glad to see they're getting this done. ITA is certainly getting their fair share of aircraft done in various scales. So how cool is that? Marstrick Airlines Fokker 50, very interesting aircraft right here. The livery looks really cool, and glad to see more Fokker 50s getting involved. Fokker 27s and 2050s are pretty hard to get in die-cast model aircraft form, so glad to see they're getting after it. Although I will say Aero Classic has done their fair share in 1-4. It's just been a while. Very cool. This is the Embraer House E2. Very nice. Might have to consider getting something like this because I would really like to represent E2 at some point, but they're so challenging to get in model form. You can get 1-200s, 1-400s are a complete act, so maybe this house is the way to go, or maybe try to get a 1-200 sometime if I'm able to fly one somewhere, but they're pretty challenging to find around the world at this moment. So nevertheless, looking really good with this aircraft though. Turkish Airlines Vickers Viscount 700 Tango Charlie Sierra Echo Sierra. Very cool to see this as well. Nice and simple livery. I think that's a cool release and certainly getting after it there for Turkish. Very nice. And here we have this UT Air Civil Air Superjet 100 SSJ 100. Very cool to see this as well. These were really challenging to find. The only aircraft I distinctly remember, airline that had it rather, I should say, is Interjet. And obviously, I think they're sitting at Mexico City. If I saw AS Aviation's trip port right, it was there, or Guatemala or something like that. I thought they were sitting on the ramp somewhere. But yeah, certainly looking good with that. And we'll have to see what ends up happening with those aircraft. Here's the Amari Jet Boeing 737-800 Hotel India 1078. Glad to see more Max getting done. That tail is super, super cool. I love that. Even though it's Euro white, the tail certainly at least gives it something to go off. I think the winglets should have been purple too, but what can you do? You can't complain. Can't cry over spoiled milk. Here's this Emirates Airlines Airbus A380 2023. Oh, we're into 1-500, by the way. I apologize. So this top one I was like, this doesn't look great, but understandable since it's a 1-500. So 1-500 is pretty expensive in my opinion. That's just what I think, but what can you do? Here's this Lufthansa Airbus A330-300 Fahanza Diversity wins. Very cool to see this. And as for the Emirates, the actually release is a good one, so that's awesome. Vice versa here, so looking good. And I don't know why they put their aircraft going that way, but what can you do about it? I believe Herpa's from Germany, if I'm not mistaken. Here's this Fiji Airways Boeing 737 MAX 8. This is Delta Quebec Foxtrot Alpha Bravo. Cool to see this aircraft as well. It looks really nice. So a really good job, and glad to see that getting represented right there. Airlines Argentina's Airbus A330-200, and this is Lima Victor Foxtrot Victor Hotel, and this is in a soccer livery, it appears. Very cool to see this one as well. That should be yet another popular offering. So overall, a really good job on that aircraft. Sorry about the nose. I don't know what it is. Austrian Airlines Boeing 777-200 Oscar Echo Lima Papa Alpha. Very cool to see this aircraft as well. Looks really nice and very cool there for Vienna. Qatar Airways Boeing 737 MAX 8 getting done in 1-500. Alpha 7 Bravo Sierra Charlie. Very cool to see this aircraft as well. It looks really nice. So glad to see everybody getting in on the Qatar Max. This C-130 right here looks really good for the functionals at Squadron. Very cool. I love this piece right here. So certainly looks nice. Nice and basic. You can't complain. Stupid nose. Apologies. Okay, this is the RAF C-130 47th Squadron 50th Anniversary Hercules. Looks really good. I love the green. Also the tail there for the Royal Air Force. That's really nice. So really unique paint scheme. Also the line going this far down is pretty uncharacteristic for any military plane. So that's really cool, and I think they did a really good job there. Very nice. Copa Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 9. Very nice. This looks really good. Glad to see Copa getting more representation there, and Panama City routes are coming soon. Purple Iceland Air Boeing 737 MAX 9. Very similar concept. Glad to see that they're getting done there at 500. So that's absolutely awesome. Cubana Illusion IL62M. Very cool. This is Charlie Uniform Tango 1218. Also in limited quantities. But yeah, certainly nice to see they're using those illusion molds to their fullest potential. Hey, there's a U.S. aircraft. That's United Airlines Boeing 777-200 in the Evo Blue paint scheme, November 69020. So very nice to see some more variety in this release, and they've certainly hit it home with the various aircraft. And that'll do it for this Herpa release. Overall, a really good job. I think they did really good to get some military in there and also some various 1-500 airplanes. So yeah, that was really good, and they did a really good job there. Okay, next up we have some new in-flights, and this is a really good set. I unfortunately did get this, saw this get leaked. So what can you do? Again, you can't cry over spoiled milk. What you can do is make the most out of the milk. Okay, come on. Man. Okay, I guess I just have to spam the button. But nevertheless, here we go for these in-flights. It's a really good set. Let's just go ahead and dive right into it. American Airlines Airbus A321, and we have all the heritages here. I might as well put them all together to make it look nice. So here's PSA, America West, Allegheny, and Piedmont. Absolute dream team right here. If you had some real money and wanted to go spend it all, this would be the way to do it. You also get to collect coins, which is really cool. I personally am really split between America West and PSA looking the best, which were my two favorites prior to the 321 anyways on the 319s. I think Allegheny looks the most out of place, and I think Piedmont looks fine. I don't see any major problem there. It just is different, of course. If I had to say, I would say the A321 probably fits the best since they had that livery on the 320 at least. The PSA livery, although looks really solid. Allegheny probably looks better on the 321 than the 319 anyways, but it's still the lesser in my opinion. Although I think they all look really nice, and it's really cool to see these. This would be really cool. If somebody gets this set, please send a picture to me. I would love to see it with the collector coins. Really cool that they're offering that though, and these will be really nice aircraft. If I had to pick one, I'm really split between PSA and America West. I would probably go maybe PSA for the smile, but the America West also looks nice. Probably go PSA for all the color. That would probably be the pick. But that's a really tough decision. But that's absolutely fantastic. Definitely recommend picking those up if you're interested. It's a really cool release, and a really good job here by InFlight for knocking that out of the park, getting those out so quick. So InFlight, great attention to detail, and that looks absolutely amazing with the collector coin and the various elements. Really great details here. That's absolutely amazing. Oh, and they're doing the U.S. Airways. Apologies, guys. I did not know they were doing U.S. Airways too. Now, that is news to me. So really cool to see that one too. That's just the dream team. That's your American heritage at its finest. So really cool to see that. I'll go ahead and move my webcam off so you can get a little bit better view of it. So really cool to see that. That's absolutely fantastic. Let me know which one your favorite is, and that's just absolutely amazing right there. That's a really good effort. So really cool to see that, and the dream team has been completed. Now we have this U.S. Air Force C9A. This would be the DC-932CF equivalent for the Nightingale, and this is going to be 710876. So very cool to see this aircraft too. It looks really nice. Really interesting converted aircraft. I didn't even know they had these. So ultimately really cool, and very glad to see that aircraft right there. And then we have this Canon Airways Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner. This is 5 Yankee Kilo Zulu Delta. Looks really cool. I really like what we're doing with delivery here with the various elements. So looks really good, and ultimately a really good job with this aircraft. Really represents the region well. American Airlines Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner November 880 Bravo Juliet. It's one of the new ones as well. This would be cool, but I do have the 9, and the 9's really cool, especially after flying the exact registration. How fortunate that was of coincidence. But yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. Really glad to have another Dreamliner done in 1-200, and that's absolutely awesome. So very good release right there. It's really good. United Boeing 777-200 Battleship Gray. That's really cool. Many collectors are going to be on top of that. That's a really quality release right here. This has been a dream team release for U.S. collectors, man. Hard to gripe with any of this, but a really nice throwback right there. That's really nice, and I think multiple collectors are going to be very excited about that. So a really good effort, and that looks absolutely amazing. And then how about this? A new mold, a Boeing 757-300 without winglets. This is going to be the Thomas Cook Airlines. Very cool. Golf, Juliet, Mike, Alpha, Bravo. Thought for sure they would have had this one at this point, but now they're just going to start pumping out Deltas, Uniteds, and Thomas Cook, and Condors, and all those various Icelanders, you name it. So really cool to see this. I think this is a really great release right here. Ultimately, a really good effort. Just in general, really good job. That looks absolutely fantastic. That's absolutely amazing. Really good job right there. And here we have this Qantas Freight Airbus A330-200. So these are certainly getting on the rollout there, as we saw from JC, now InFlight200. So very cool to see that one too, and that looks absolutely amazing. And then we have another 757. This is going to be the 200 from Monarch Airlines. So very cool to see this from the UK here. Golf, Delta, Alpha, Juliet, Bravo. So yeah, Monarch was a really interesting airline. So it's certainly interesting. And if you're looking for some throwback 757s, InFlight really has you covered this month. That's really cool. Make it the Icelandair non-winglet 757-200 as well. This Tango Foxtrot India Papa. So there's Icelandair to go with the mix, no winglet. So certainly a filled day for those European collectors interested in those type of airplanes. And make it with this Iberia Airbus A319-100. I think this is the original scheme that I had. It might be a throwback, but it doesn't denote Echo Charlie Kilo Kilo Sierra. So another really interesting paint scheme right here. In Europe, certainly having a field day, no question about it. So looking really good with that one too. Make it an Air India Airbus E310 to go with those Victor Tango Alpha India Alpha. So very cool to see. Now we're heading over to India for this aircraft. I think this is a cool one. I think this will certainly represent the region well. So ultimately a really nice job right there. And then we have the Singapore Air Force KC-135R Stratotanker 752 with stand. 54 pieces only, so definitely get after it if you want it, but a nice simple aircraft, and you can tell it looks pretty cool. Here's this British Colonial Airways doubles DC-1030 Golf Bravo Foxtrot Julia India. Very cool aircraft right here, looks really good. I think the fuselage in the various colors look really unique, so absolute field day for the European region right now. Now we're heading over to Mexico though with this Aeromexico Boeing 767-300 X-Ray Alpha Alpha Papa Bravo. Great looking aircraft. You got the L3 door there too. It's a very unique and certainly throwing it back a little bit there to say the least. And that'll do it for this in-flight release. Ultimately, a really quality set with various aircraft. Good for US, good for Europe. Even gets some various aircraft there from Asia too. So ultimately, a really cool one. I think the Kenyans are a really underrated one too. But many of these will go unnoticed considering how good it was. I mean, obviously, the big setup here is the main focal point. But I mean, just considering how good of a release this is absolutely awesome. And a great job here by InFlight for just knocking it out of the park. We do have one, you know what? I'll save this for its own video because it's probably a pretty good one with that JC Wings release. But I really hope each and every one of you enjoyed today's video. Really cool sets here from JC Wings and all the various companies. Ultimately, a really cool, various diverse aircraft group. And I really hope each and every one of you enjoyed it. But nevertheless, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you all enjoyed today's video. And I enjoyed Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust process. Do you love what you do? My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.